A lot has really changed in the last 40 years when it comes to law practice management. And a lot of it has to do with the economy, but also technology. Okay. And if you want your law firm to be successful this in this day and age, there are a few things you need to really pay attention to. It's important to understand first that your practice is a professional services organization, but it's also a business. And it hasn't been the case 40 years ago. In the last 40 years, what I've seen here is that if you think about a law practice management process, you're thinking about a business process. Okay, so your law practice is actually a business, a full scale business. Full scale business means what? You're gonna have lawyers, of course, on staff, but you're also having paralegals. You're having non-legal staff also. Okay, you're having everybody from HR to operations to accounting to finance to taxation. Now, you can actually 40 years ago or 30 years ago, a lot of law firms were having this non-legal staff in house. But nowadays, the good thing is that you can outsource the whole thing. If you believe that you want to focus on your core legal work and you want to increase your number of billable hours, basically what you want to do is you want to see what you can do in house, and you want to really outsource the rest, because the bottom line is you want to focus on revenue. Okay, and so that's an important element. So basically nowadays technology has allowed millions of law firms globally to actually outsource things like marketing, finance, accounting, HR, policies, procedures, and workflow management. So that really helped. Helps big time, because then lawyers are more accessible to clients. They're more accessible to go to court. They're more accessible to do legal research. They're more accessible to do more what I say value adding tasks, and that's a big change that I've seen in the last 40 years. Okay, and so last 40 years, the right processes, the right legal technology, and the right I would say the right software has enabled law firms to scale big time. What I've seen in the last 40 years is that if you want to have a successful law practice, you have to define and communicate your firm's focus. Back in the days, if you had a law firm, either you were a solo or you were part of, let's say, a larger organization. You didn't need to have you did not need to define your focus. Nowadays, without a focus, things could be a little complicated for you. Okay, a focus has become very important in terms of defining, like charting the pathway that your law firm, has to follow. Okay, so in the last 40 years, more and more and more law firms have come to the conclusion that having a focus can really help. Okay, and focus means what? A focus means having a clearer vision. It just means that focusing on a specific practice area. So having a niche. So gone are the days where a law firm will do everything and anything. Okay. No, nowadays the market is so big. The market is so wonderful that even if you specialize in a small niche, you can still actually eke out. You can rake in good revenue, as long as you're able to scale, as long as you're able to automate a few things, as long as you're able to focus on billable hours and outsource non-billable hours. Okay, so if you focus on a specific practice area, something that back in the days, 20 years ago or 30 years ago, some law firms weren't doing, if you can focus on a specific practice area, you are basically allowing potential clients and other attorneys to recognize you as an expert in your practice area. And that's what you want. You do not want to be a lawyer for everybody and anybody. You want to be a lawyer for some people or some businesses. So if you have a practice area focus, you actually gain valuable experience, knowledge, and a network of contacts that can enable you in the future to solve problems faster and provide a higher level of service. So whether your focus is family law, civil litigation, personal injury, or let's say estate planning, every practice area tends to have its own vocabulary and customs and care about different data. So this is something that can really help you big time, especially from a flexibility point of view. You want to have that sort of flexibility, and you want to have it from the get go. And this is going to help you actually be more, I would say, more focused. Okay. What I've seen in the last 40 years of law practice is that basically, if you want to have a successful law practice this year, you want to provide clear leadership from the top down. Back in the days, basically, the leadership structure was there, but it wasn't as solid. I mean, it was more, I would say, more informal. Nowadays, if you want to scale, if you want to really develop real fast, you need to provide I'll say, more clarity. And it has to come from the top, okay? So you have to understand, in a professional services firm, people are the organization's greatest assets. And in the last 40 years, this has been truer for law firms. So, as a law firm owner or partner, your role includes motivating employees and communicating the firm's strategy, direction, and values. The skills needed to be an effective people manager are learned once, okay? So if you are new to managing staff, you want to seek out CLE, continuing legal education courses, or maybe an online or university class, something that we didn't have 40 years ago. Thank Universe, thank God. Now we have those platforms. We have the internet. We have access to a larger realm of resources. So take advantage of them. Okay. So what happens here is that good leadership also means investing in professional development opportunities for your attorneys. Okay. So this might look like offering one-on-one meetings with between junior and senior associates, providing funding for courses, or sending employees to, let's say, conferences, workshops, and so on and so forth. You also want to establish standard operating procedures, something that lawyers weren't doing 40 years ago or even 30 years ago. Nowadays, if you want to really grow your firm real fast, you need to establish those SOPs. So your SOPs will be tailored to the type of law practice the law that you practice, but they will typically address tasks like legal case management, new client onboarding, document automation and management, appointment scheduling, document review and approval, time tracking, billing and payments, okay, trial preparation, archiving client files at the end of an engagement. One thing I've learned in the last 40 years when it comes to law practice is that if you want to really, if you want to optimize your operations, if you want to optimize your internal processes, you want to think about organizing and minimizing paper with document automation. Like 40 years ago, 30 years ago, or even 20 years ago, document automation wasn't really that big. Okay, so a lot of law firms back in the days, they were actually they were actually handling lots of data through paperwork, and I'm speaking about a real paper, tangible paper. So the process was still manual, right? But nowadays, with document automation, you can actually have a paperless culture. So a paperless law firm is actually an achievable goal today than it was, let's say, 20 years ago or even 30 years ago. But realistically, most of us still have to deal with incoming mail and client documents on paper, right? But the cool thing is you can digitize as much as possible. So by scanning documents into digital formats, they can be stored within the firm's case management software, shared with clients on portal sites, and archived efficiently. Plus, legal practice management software enables you to create and save templates, so important documents only need to be created once if you think about it. So this is important, especially from a scalability point of view. And if you want to have access to that data in the future, you possibly can. Okay, you possibly can. It's all a matter of prioritization. It's all a matter of organization. It's all a matter of sequencing. What I'm trying to say is, if you know that you're going to need certain papers at a certain time, you can sequence your internal processes in such a way that come a certain time, you are able to you are able to access that paperwork in real time, or let's say at the appropriate time. One thing you need to understand is that if you want to invest in document automation, now is the time to do it. Now is the time to do it. It's more. It will be more. I would say the ROI will be positive nowadays than it would have been 30 years ago or 40 years ago. Because 40 years ago, if you had asked some of those top managers at law firms to invest in document automation, they will tell you no. It's just a lot cheaper for them to do things paper-wise as opposed to automating them. But nowadays, with technology, with the advance of the cloud, where you can basically you don't have to invest in storage capacities anymore. Having things automated actually is cheaper. So what I've seen in the last 40 years of law practice knowledge is that legal technology has been very key. Has been very key in the last 10 years. Okay, I mean, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, or even 40 years ago, or even 50 years ago, nobody was talking about legal tech. The same way banks weren't talking about fintech, financial technology. Nowadays, legal tech has been really, really key. Okay, you have a lot of prominent companies. A lot of prominent companies were able to disrupt the industry. Okay, so what you want to do is if you want to grow your company, your law firm this year, you want to use legal technology to your benefit. See, the thing is, when I say legal technology, I'm speaking about a vast area, not just the one thing or two things, but I'm speaking about a comprehensive realm that you need to really embrace if you want to benefit your law firm across the board. So technology is really changing the legal industry in powerful ways, and has been doing so in the last 10 years. Okay, and so outside of document management, organization, and automation, legal practice management technology has become a game changer for growing law firms. So if you're serious about growing your law firm this year, you want to embrace legal tech. Okay, and you can do a couple of things here. I mean, I'm not asking you to invest thousands of dollars or even millions of dollars in upgrading your legal tech. No, you can actually have you can spend less than $1,000 and have pretty decent legal tech in terms of legal practice management. Okay, you can simplify your time and billing, you can upgrade your calendar, and you can increase your referrals, and you can work, and that's the most important thing. You can work and allow your team members to work from anywhere. So when I say simplify your time and billing, if your firm operates on an hourly billing model, a practice management platform with time and billing software capabilities can actually save you hours every single week, allowing your firm to maximize revenue and capture details to help you understand activity and productivity levels. That's what you want. You want to understand activity and productivity levels. You also want to upgrade your calendar, so intelligent calendar technology can automatically schedule critical deadlines for a matter based on the applicable federal, state, and/or local court rules, and your firm can save even more time with a system that provides current court forms for your practice area and jurisdiction, reducing the time required to create and file documents. Also, when it comes to increasing your referrals, legal practice management technology can also help generate referrals, giving you and your employees valuable insights into past referrals while managing incoming opportunities in one easy to access place. So that's pretty good. And finally, the opportunity that really is pretty prominent here is your ability to work from anywhere, right? So with legal practice management software, you can really manage remote workers. You have secure cloud applications that are designed specifically for law firms, have actually made remote work significantly easier in the last 10 years. An assistant from a cloud hosting provider or technology consultant can help you put together a comprehensive technology strategy for your firm. So this is really good from a scalability point of view. One thing I've seen in the last 40 years is that finance and accounting at law firms has become very prominent. Okay. Back in the days, I would say managers, office managers, or partners or senior associates weren't really interested in, I would say, the finance and accounting function. But nowadays, if you are a law firm and you want to be profitable, if you want to be successful, you need to pay attention to accounting. Like I said, a law practice is a business before anything. Okay, if the business doesn't perform, everything closes. So nowadays, accounting, especially accurate accounting, it has become important for law firms. So timely billing and efficient cash management are key to profitability, right? And with the technology, with the right technology, you are able to get things done faster. Okay, and perhaps more importantly, effective accounting is critical for compliance with Rule 1.15 of the ABA's Model Rules of Professional Conduct, outlining firm responsibilities regarding trust accounts, record keeping, and notifying clients of the receipt of funds or property. Right? Back in the days, nobody had to comply with ABA's rules. Okay, so this is something to really think about. So when combined, automated invoicing and payment processing software can help all kinds of firms everywhere save time, improve efficiency, and reduce paper consumption. I'm going back to the reduction of paper consumption. So a good billing and payments solution will process all types of credit cards and e-checks, take payments from trust and operating accounts, and integrates with your practice management systems. And finally, I want to talk about the ability to track KPIs. So today, today more than ever, you are able to track KPIs, key performance indicators in your law firm. Something that wasn't available 40 years ago, okay, or 30 years ago for that matter. So technology, including software and specialized platforms, allow law firms like you to actually, like yours, to actually track KPIs in a consistent basis. So to know if your firm is on track in meeting those goals, make it a practice to gather and analyze key performance metrics on a regular basis. So with the right software, you don't have to reinvent the wheel, actually. With the right software, you can really get things done faster. Revenue and client goals are easily measured. Profit calculated as total revenue minus total expenses for a given period can be improved on either side of the equation. Increase revenue or reduce cost by automating manual tasks. In addition to measuring profits, you want to analyze utilization rates to ensure that associates and partners are maximizing billable hours. You want to track income by practice type, for instance, or by clients to gain deeper insights into which type of work or clients generates the most revenue, right? That's an important element to think about. And these metrics offer insights into your practice and can inform your decisions on a growth strategy for your firm, setting you up for future success. And that's what you want. You want to have this sort of path towards future success. So in conclusion to this conversation, I've shared with you some lessons I've seen in the last 4 decades of law practice knowledge, okay? And so I went through the most significant changes. Hopefully they have informed your decision making. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.